Yeah, on the women's side, I think my takeaway is this: the Mira Andreeva experience is happening before your eyes.
Yep.
Like, let's don't blink. It is happening. I'm not saying that she's going to rack up 10 Grand Slams. I don't think that happens on the women's side anymore.
Yep.
There tends to be about what I consider a 3-year peak
Yep.
for each one of these champions. To get there, it's 3 years of getting, somewhere between 3 to 5 Grand Slams, and then someone else pops up, right?
I would tell you that I'm glad that it's extended to 3 years, because back 5 to 8 years ago, it was a tournament. And
Right.
then,
Yeah. I mean,
let's be honest.
now we're getting to the point where like nobodies don't show up and win Grand Slams on the women's side. You're like, well, okay, maybe the U.S. Open occasionally, but okay,
Don't go there.
okay, sorry, so
We
sorry.
already know about we already know about that one. We're not going back. We're
we've
not
covered
going
that. We're
back.
not
So
going
what was
back.
that? Was that 2019? What was it?
2019, 2020, 2021. I mean, we had a couple of years of some. Anyways, Mira Andreeva. Okay, so Mira has had a fantastic run over the last few weeks, right? She's in Dubai, rips through that draw, takes down Iga, takes down Rybakina, right? Takes out Clara Towson in the finals, comes over here, does it again, takes down Iga, takes down
That Iga
Sabalenka.
match to me was the match. Beating Iga in that match, to me, that match solidified to me.
That was the one.
That was the one. That
was the
to
one.
me was one to put over the top.
But like, let's talk about her as a player though, right? So like, regardless of the results, I saw something this tournament, and it maybe it happened in the Middle East. It was apparent in the Middle East as well. But I feel like that you can go back to our our WTA outlook from January. Like,
Sure.
I was like, the one hole that Mira has is her firepower, but she is young. She will fill into her frame. I think that will come. And
Yep.
then when that comes, everyone else is in trouble. And when I see her walking now, it's like, oh, Mira's been to the gym, and now her legs can withstand
The torture and
the torture, and she is serving big.
Yep.
She's serving big. She's
Yep.
not the biggest hitter, but when she gets the ball now on the forehand side that she can work with, she's going line. That's what she's doing to Iga. She's just ripping line before Iga does. Like, I'm gonna beat you there. And the last thing, and I'll let you go, is that the thing that I'm most impressed with, we've talked about this. Some of our guests who have played at the highest level talked about this. Like, the thing that separates the best at any level from the rest is that special skill. And I believe Mira has some of, if not the best continental skill on the women's tour right now. She defends with the continental better than anybody.
I would agree with that. I think her defending
to the point that it's a
very
skill.
Good. Great feel. I would submit to you, Mahova has some of the best continental skills going forward. But
cool. Going forward, sure.
Going east-west.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're absolutely right. Mira is right there. Let me tell you what I saw about Mira from this tournament, which I don't often see, and I'm really liking that I'm seeing it. Mira is starting to get and I'm going to use Yannick Sinner as a good example, the two-way speed. She can counter you with pace, and then she's going to step up off of you being the pace hitter's off-pace ball.
Okay. Yep.
Let me explain that. And I love Arena. She's one of my favorite players of all time. After she to me is the Belarusian Serena. I've always loved Serena's game, so I'm naturally, loving the bigger hitters game. Obviously, it's something that it's just a profile that I like in the game. Sabalenka will hit a ball, Madison Keys as well.
Mm-hmm.
They hit a ball that is so big and so through you that it is, let's just use numbers. Let's just say it's a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You're an Andreeva. You have the ability not to hit a 95-mile-an-hour ball, but you have the ability to handle 90.
Mm-hmm.
The one fallacy in the 90-mile or 95-mile-an-hour forehand player is they know intuitively that ball rarely comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get hurt, bumped, surprised that the ball came back. By nature, they're not very good at defending. They've rarely had to do it. So on a ball that they're neutralizing or rolling or bumping, it just got caught. Mirra has the ability to now hit a step up off of their ball. Her range is in between 75 and 89. Here's the problem. The 95-mile-an-hour hitters have to throw in a slice from time to time, have to throw in a roll from time to time to get back, because the ball is so big. They don't have much time for anything else. In that first game or so, Alvin, I saw Mirra throw in against Arena a drop shot in the very first game in the final. And I'm like, ooh, that tells me comfortability. That didn't tell me that she's worried about anything. She's like, Arena, I got you. And you know what? You're not looking to come forward. I'm not going to out-hit you, but I'm not worried about your ball speed either. Now, I would here tell you, she won that match against Arena, played a pretty good second. I was really impressed. I was really impressed that Mirra stayed the course. But you heard it right here, Alvin. She is not fazed by the bigger hitters.
Which is weird. Because coming into this match, she had a 1-4 record against Sabalenka, right? She got Sabalenka beat the brakes off her the last time they played, right? Earlier this year. So, you know,
it was a bad match for her. She did not play like it was Australia. She did not play
Australia,
like she.
And she's like, you know, she has struggled with Arena before, but I think it's just the Conchita, Conchita's doing the thing with her that is like really rounding out some of these like not often explored avenues of trying to break down a player. And Conchita's got the mind for it, and she has a player who also has the mind and the skill for it. So it's like we're just gonna solve this puzzle in a different way, and we're just not gonna let Arena get comfortable. And then like once the heat comes off the match a little bit, then you can play. And even to Mirra's credit, like she did not play a very good first set in that final, gets thumped, comes back out, and then just like right back to it, right back to work.
I felt like and I said it backwards. I felt like the first few games were high class tennis. I mean, there was some quality tennis in the first few games. I felt like Arena got a break and kind of steamrolled, but I felt like early on, Mirra was not fazed. Sloppy, had a game or two that she lost her way. But I'm telling you, when she held on to win that third, I'm telling you, Alvin, I felt like it was Arena who was trying to find ways to win in that third set.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Arena was trying to say, I keep going for this step up. She knows I'm going for the step up, and she's waiting for it. And what do? I don't not hit a step up, right? I don't not hit the inside hit. I don't not hit the big down line. But when I do, I almost felt Arena was almost rolling a wide sweep backhand to try to run Mirra to the corner, taking pace off the ball a little bit, which is already compromising what she wants to do because she knows Mirra's pretty good on the rise. So I almost felt even that match, I felt like that was kind of something that Arena was already throwing in a wrinkle, or her camp was already trying to throw in a way to get her to, she's going to counter me if I go big.
Right.
Let me roll her wide. It wasn't as good of an angle as it could have been, but it was a different ball than she normally hits. And I felt like that was a feather in the cap to Mirra and her speed and her core coverage.
Yeah. Also, we got to a point in the match where you don't see Arena get to this point often, where it's a hard fought 3-set match, and we're in the back end, coming around the bend on the third set. I did see her at one point. It was so nice the way that they used that low camera angle off the back of the baseline there. She was going towards her right, kind of on, not really on defense, but she was moving from the ad court off the back angle over to her forehand. And I saw her, I just have this picture in my brain. I was like, right before she hits it, I'm like, she's a little too high to hit that ball. She's just too high. And I think it might have been like 3-2. Andreeva was up a break in the third, something like that. Maybe 4-3. And I was like, yeah, she's just too high. I think she's tired. And she sailed that forehand long. And then I kept an eye on it. The next few points that she lost were all same. It's like, oh, she's tired. She's got her. She got into her legs. And it's like, most players can't hang with Arena long enough to get her there. Even playing against Madison, like, is a different kind of match. Like, is 3 sets.
Muhammad Ali, he knew Foreman would punch himself out. You know what I mean? And so big hitters, that's the fallacy of the big hitter. You know, there takes a lot of octane, you know, to
It
be a big hitter.
does. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And so like
hats off to Mirra is all I'm saying.